Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Crypto Empire, where we dominate the crypto market. I'm your host for today's live stream, and my name is Connor. Hope you're all doing really good. It's been a while since we've streamed. I've been globe-trotting, going here, going there, going everywhere, but we are now back on the East Coast, and we are ready to get back to it in a good time zone again for just everything over here, EST. So, yeah, I'm very excited to be back, and welcome back to the stream. Let's get this party started like we always do with our crypto market overview. So we've been sinking a bit over the past week. We've been sinking. Bitcoin right now is at 55.6K, Ethereum 2.3K, BNB sitting at 500. Overall, prices have taken a bit of a hit, but we're starting to get a bit of a bounce now. And in terms of our top gainers and losers, we're seeing meme coins continue to move, right? Monkeypox, Bobo, Pepe Fork, Nairo on ETH up 27%, Tron Bull up 21%, GME. So if you're actively trading, the only coins to actively trade, I mean, of course you could trade the large caps like BNB, Tron, INJ, Render, stuff like that, but it's just going to take longer. But if you're actively trading, you should be focusing on basically the meme coins listed on Bybit, like Nairo, for example, would be a good one. Anyways, that's how the market has been moving. We're seeing a nice bounce on meme coins. In terms of our losers, much of the same, right? You see a lot of repeats here. A lot of memes down, but overall, the general market has been sinking, but we're still in the same state of affairs as we have been in. Now, if we look at Bitcoin here on the daily time frame, we lost a very, very important key level on the daily for BTC right here at 56,900. All right, basically 57K. That is our 300 daily simple moving average. That did act as support during our August 5th flush out, and we lost that level, and we have essentially went down, filled the majority of the wick from August 5th down here at 52,500, and we're seeing a bit of a bounce now. But we're below this 300 daily simple moving average. So it's not looking good at all. Unless we reclaim that pretty quick, then there's a decent chance that we will get the worst case scenario and we will go down here to the yearly open. All right, so just be aware of that, right? It's just really not looking great. Chart's very weak. Sure, there's 4 consecutive or 3 consecutive green days in a row right now, but we lost a huge key level over here with the 300 simple moving average, and it's just really not looking good. Now, if we drop this down to the 4-hour time frame, we are breaking this trend line. As you can see, multiple touches. 1, 2, call this the third. We're breaking it right now. Okay, so I would expect a bounce here, at least to the monthly open, to around $60,000. $60,000 is the golden pocket of this local move. I'll just show it to you. Right, if you take the low over here, 52,530, up to the high over here, you get your golden pocket right here at $60,200. Okay, so this trend line break, this bounce, wouldn't be surprised to see it take price all the way back up to 60K, but we're still in a very strong downtrend. And to be quite honest with you, I'm expecting the worst at this point. The way everything looks, the way stocks look as well, stocks look topped, especially tech stocks. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do actually get the worst case scenario at this moment in time, with a bit of a bounce first up here to 60K and then a sink down. It's going to be quick, right? A move to 42K will not be a slow grind. It will be a flash. It will happen very, very quickly. All right. So just be aware that, this is a very, very kind of, the probabilities have went up drastically since we last spoke here on the channel because we lost that daily 300 simple moving average. If we were still above that, I would say, no, it's still a pretty low chance. But look, the chart's telling us that there's weakness inbound. And that yearly open down here, 42K, just don't ignore it. It's sticking out like a sore thumb at this moment in time, and especially with Bitcoin again breaking below that MA, it's just not looking good. Hate to repeat myself, but I know a lot of people have a hard time kind of understanding TA, so I just want to make it very clear for everybody on exactly what's going on and what I am thinking. All right, so BTC worst case scenario, 42K, it's looking pretty likely right now. If you look at ETH, ETH is right at the yearly open. basically filled the wick, and kind of the same situation as BTC, right? If Bitcoin's going down to 42, I would say ETH's coming down here to 1800, which would be an insane price, right? That reminds me of the run up in 2020 when Ethereum was, first running up. I remember it at 1800. So yeah, if you see ETH around 1800, that's an amazing buy. And most likely will be short-lived. Solana, if we do get the crash, I would look for Sol to come down to around 80 bucks. And these are just some levels you need to have marked out on your chart because, again, the market's very, very weak right now. And I was talking stocks as well. I'll show you what I'm talking about in terms of the stonk market. We just put some basic parallel channels up on the chart, which work extremely well. A lot of even the ES here, right? We're hitting the top of this channel. Okay. Good chance we get rejected and we see at least a move down to the early open here of 4,800. If we look at stuff like NVIDIA on the weekly log scale time frame, right? We have multiple touches. These are confirmed channels. And NVIDIA looks like it's going to come down here and test the bottom of this parallel channel. And if it loses it, it's got a ways to sink. It's not going to be pretty at all. It's going to be very ugly. All right, so watch this trend line break with prices around 100. Amazon as well. If we zoom this out on the weekly, we basically just got rejected from these highs. We swept these highs. We're back inside this range. And again, a lot of signs of weakness. Watch for this trend line break. We have two confirmed touches right now. All right, if we get this third confirmed touch and it breaks, it's going to sink. Google, same thing. If we look at Google here, looking at this parallel channel, let's go to a 3-day time frame. I mean, all of these major tech stocks look very, very bad right now. All right, this thing looks like it wants to sink down here to the bottom of the channel. Same situation on Apple. Let me get this to where I want it to go. There you go on the log scale. Again, hitting the top of this channel. A lot of weakness here. I mean, it looks like it wants to roll over. And then there's Meta. I mean, all the big tech stocks, basically what I'm trying to tell you, they all look topped right now. Bitcoin below some key moving averages. It's just not looking great here in the short term at all. Yeah, and in terms of Meta here, right, parallel channel, it's basically at the top. Maybe we'll see one last push up, touch the top of this channel, and then roll over. But, as it looks right now, it looks like price is stalling near the top here. So it's just really not looking good at all. A lot of weakness. And of course, with Bitcoin where it is, I mean, let's just be prepared for the worst case scenario. Let's not sugarcoat anything. It's just not looking great. And that's our overall crypto market overview. Again, move up to 60K makes sense, but I will be looking for a rejection there. Anyways, let me see what's going on with our live chat. Shout out to Johnny G. He says, good morning, Crypto Empire. Thoughts on the Durov situation and the future of Redo? Yeah, so listen, Pavel Durov, he got arrested in France. He's basically a political prisoner. So with that being said, we live in a very clown world where there's a very strong agenda. And Telegram is kind of a platform of free speech in a way where you're free to do what you want. And they don't like that. All right. So that's why he got pinned. That's why he got popped in France. And I had this article up here about the Telegram situation, actually. Let's see. Telegram differs from WhatsApp or Facebook because the way Durov set up and operated the company that may have made this confrontation inevitable, and whether this will have a ripple effect on the rest of the social internet or even the rest of the internet as a whole. Basically, he just let people kind of have private messaging without being overwatched by Big Brother. So yeah, anyways, thoughts on it? Look, I think good will prevail, right? I don't think the communists will win, although it's a very hard fight. But this is clearly a battle between good and evil, right? Freedom versus communism, basically. So I think everything will be fine in the end, but it's going to be a tough battle right now. And if we look at the Telegram coin, it has a nice bounce over the past few days. But again, similar to Bitcoin, it does look very weak. All right, the technicals. I mean, this is a very key level over here at 475, and we're back above it. I would consider this the range low. So we basically just swept our range low here. And as you can see here with this moving average, that is your simple moving average 300 on the daily time frame. Price bounced from it perfectly. Okay, so as long as we're above that, I'd say we're good. These moving averages are compressing quite a bit, which means a big move is coming. But yeah, as of right now, as long as we're above the $4.70 level, I would say, we're clear to continue to at least chop around in range. And, obviously, if Bitcoin does sink to 42K, the whole entire market will follow. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing sink down to the origin of its pumps. And that would be somewhere around the 280 level. All right. So that's worst case if Bitcoin does end up going down to the yearly open of 42K. But overall, yeah, I still like Telegram. I think good will prevail. We'll just see what happens, though. Thomas Keefe talking about the Caspa KRC20 release. And yes, absolutely. I already have it open as well. Planned on talking about it. So Caspa KRC20 mainnet launch announcement is coming on the 15th of September at 12 p.m. UTC. Over a month of testing, 2 months of stress testing. Processed over 90 million KRC20 transactions, and everything is now finally running smoothly. So this has been delayed quite a bit, and it's finally happening, all right? But it's very bullish for Caspa. It's a very good thing. And the price for Caspa, it's still not doing anything, all right? You can see the August 5th crash over here, where price reached a low of around 12.5 cents. Bounced back immediately. It was just oscillating at 16 to 17 cents. A lot of these alts did the same thing, where they came down here to our 300 daily simple moving average. Caspa put in a wick, bounced. I mean, you can see this compression with the moving averages, right? So, I mean, it's a very sideways trend right now, but it's holding, its crucial support level as well. And the fact that there's a huge catalyst on the way is a good sign. We'll see. It could end up becoming a sell the news event, especially because listen, if Bitcoin ends up tanking, the whole entire market's going to follow. All right, so stay vigilant. Oftentimes, these things are sell the news events, like a big announcement, a huge thing, right? So if we see Caspa start to really run up this week before the 15th, I would say be prepared to basically, if you're going to trade it, you can look to short it. Or if you're just playing the hype, you can look to take profits and buy back lower. But yeah, I mean, I'm very bullish on Caspa. I like the coin a lot. I have liked it. I will continue to hold it. One of my main holds for this cycle. So it's good that things are happening and the developments are actually happening. The updates. Just be prepared for a possible sell the news event on the 15th with this release, because these things almost always are sell the news events. Anyways, Thomas saying Caspa KRC20 will have a meme token platform starting on the 15th. Breaking news. Yeah, a lot of memes for sure will be launched on Caspa. If anybody follows Crash, there's a pretty good chance he's going to launch one of his Infinity Stones on Caspa as well. But if trying to buy that early is a lottery ticket. Anyways, something to consider. Get your Caspa wallets ready if you're looking to be a gambler with meme coins on Caspa. It's coming soon. We got Kedar saying, hey, Connor, what are your thoughts on gaming coins like Super, Vulcan Forged, Mutable X, Muriositis? Much appreciated. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think gaming will have its day in the sun again. It's just been brutal to say the least all year long. Testing everyone's patience. By the way, guys, hope you like the green screen. We're going to get a legit studio set up shortly. But for now, we're rocking the green screen. Anyways, back to our question. What are your thoughts on the gaming coins like Superverse? I never liked Superverse. That's never been a preference of mine. I like IMX the best out of the coins you mentioned there. Mutable X. And if you look at IMX, lower highs, lower lows, continuous. It's in a pretty obvious downtrend on the daily time frame. On the weekly, it's holding the structure well at $1 with a pretty clean line to break as well, right? It's got 1 touch, 2 touch. So this would be a 3rd touch, and it usually likes to break on 3. Maybe setting up, maybe this $1 level will end up being the bottom of this local kind of downtrend we've been seeing from March of this year over the past 5-6 months or so. The trend line break would certainly confirm that. So I would be looking. If you're bullish on gaming, right? A lot of let's see some of these other ones. You mentioned Sidus. Let's take a look at Sidus. This is Sidus versus ETH. And again, lower highs, lower lows. All these gaming coins have been in a downtrend. But Sidus is holding this level quite well. I know this is a lower cap, right? Something like IMX, it's a higher game, like higher market cap. This one's very small market cap, okay? So it's going to be a lot more volatile. I will be looking for another rejection at this, and maybe another test of the lows or a sweep of these lows. If you're looking to buy Sidus, I will be looking for a sweep of these lows down here versus Ethereum. I would wait for the price to come down here. I would look for a deviation, and I would buy during that. Just some forecasting, but in terms of buying it now, it doesn't look optimal. I will wait for a sweep, and X marks the spot. Something like PYR Vulcan Forge, it's old news. It already had a cycle. It already went up like 50x in 2020, 2021. I would stay away from the old stuff like this. IMX is kind of different. Miria, pretty decent. Naka as well. I would take Naka over Miria all day, personally. But Miria, weekly chart, it's what you want to see. All the hype got erased, right? It came down to the origin of its pump. All the hype got erased. So that's what you want to see, right? You want to buy it when it's dead, when people think it's over, when it's back down to where it basically originally started to move from. But yeah, gaming in general, I still think it's worth holding in your portfolio. Coins like Naka, they can still pull some pretty crazy numbers. I would say anywhere from a 10x to on the high end of the spectrum, maybe like a 30x. So yeah, I wouldn't give up hope on gaming just yet. I think it will have a comeback eventually during the actual bull run of this cycle. Anyways, Kedar, thank you for your question, sir. Shout out to Elvis saying, hi, everyone. What's going on, my man Elvis? Shout out to the Silva Dalla saying, smash the like button, 100%. Dead Fred says 100% it's freedom versus communism. Glad you said that. Yeah, it's pretty obvious, brother. It's pretty obvious. Glad you're on the right side of the argument here with me, sir. Shout out to All Day Dre saying Empire stay strong. We got Jin Woo saying, yo, what's good, Mr. Asia? I miss you, bro. I'm no longer Mr. Asia, man. I was in Japan. For like 5 days, but I'm now back over here on the East Coast, man. We're back. So yeah, it's all good. We're done traveling. I'm very happy. It's exhausting to be on the road constantly, and it's just time to work, man. We got like 3 months left of the year. It's time to go all out and make some good stuff happen. So I'm very excited to be back. I'm excited to be done traveling. And yeah, I'm no longer Mr. Asia. I'm out of there. Anyways, Jin Woo, good to see you, my friend. Miss you too, bro. We got Crypto Middle East and Africa saying, hi, Connor. Hope all is fine with you. What do you think of small AI caps, Spectral, Palm, DEAI, Olas, Dion? So yeah, it's a good question, Mo. Good to see you, Mo Salah, aka Crypto Middle East and Africa. It's a good question in terms of these low cap AI coins. What do I think of them? I think it's extremely high risk, extremely high reward. We saw how when AI was the narrative, it didn't matter what it was, everything moved. right? Including a lot of the coins you mentioned, like Palm. If you look at something like Palm, this thing went up 40x in 30 days, as you can see. Let's see what else. Spectral. I like Spectral. I mentioned this one a few weeks back on the live, saying it's worth looking at. It has some really big backers, right? It is a VC AI coin. But with that being said, I'm not sure that's a huge issue here. I think this could be a play. It'd give you some solid X's. I wouldn't be looking at anything crazy like, 30x, but I mean, a few X's I think is for sure a possibility. Like 25, $30 for something like this for sure will probably happen. All-time high at 15 right now. So yeah, I like Spectral. Lowish market cap at 66 million. Now, stuff like DEAI, I've looked into it. It seems like a lot of vaporware. It gets shilled quite a bit on Twitter, but I haven't been convicted enough to invest my capital into something like this. Olas as well. Olas had a crazy run. We can just look at the chart here. Olas had an insane run. Where it went, 90x in 5 months, and it's just been bleeding out. This is an AI agent play. I wouldn't. Olas is not something I'm interested in, and Dion as well also seems like kind of vaporware. So yeah, the coins you mentioned, I like Spec the best out of them. There's some good options in terms of AI plays currently. Obviously, you got the big dogs like Tau, Cubic as well, worth mentioning. I think Cubic will do quite well. Stuff like AITech, I like. AGI, I've been talking about AGI on the channel since the bottom down here in November. And I still think it's one of the better AI coins. Render obviously has a high cap. Based AI, Pepe coin, I'm bullish on these as well. So yeah, that's my kind of take on AI currently. But yeah, anyways, Mo, good question. TT says, hi, Connor. How are you? I'm doing great, TT. How are you? Thoughts on Rio, AITech, and NPC? Still like them. I still like them all. All these coins have very promising potential. Rio down here to 56 cents, 59 cents. My apologies. It's just been sinking with the overall market. Looks like you got some death crosses for your daily moving averages happening. But of course, this is a delayed reaction. But what I like about Rio from here is it's now at the origin of its pump. Okay, so I mean, this 50-cent level should realistically kind of hold and ideally mark a bottom. But in terms of Rio as a real world asset coin compared to all the other stuff in the market, I still think it's, got very promising growth potential. And I think it will deliver good returns like it already has this cycle. Right? We have to understand with altcoins, they're going to go up more and down more than we actually thought. So something like Rio from 12 cents up here to $3.14, that's quite the gain. And now it's pulling back significantly. And it needs to have this crazy, harsh, dirty pullback in order to slingshot up. If you want something to go up, it's got to go down first. If you want something to go down, it's got to go up first. It's the law of reflexivity. It's just how things work over here in the markets. So yeah, still bullish on Rio. And then AITech as well, just mentioned it. Yeah, I think that this one is a great AI token. Currently down from low to high. 83%, 82.9%. Again, it went up 50x in a short amount of time. Let's see. Okay, it went up 34x in 2 months, in 70 days. So it's going to have to pull back. It's going to have a really harsh shakeout like we're seeing in order to go up again, right? It won't go straight up. It will go parabolic. It will get crushed and then perform again. But yeah, I still think fundamentally speaking, a very solid AI coin. And then NPC in terms of memes. So still holding this range. As you can see, clean range low down here on NPC. So we want to see it continue to hold this range. We don't want to see it lose in terms of price, the 1.2 cent level. That's our range low. And it's also the origin of a move. Let's go grab this cluster. Yeah, so this is our origin of a move demand zone. Right here at this key 1 cent level. Okay, so we just want to see this continue to hold. It's in a pretty clean sideways range. So buying at the bottom of the range is the play here. Right? We don't want to buy at the top. We want to buy at the bottom of the range. So be looking around the 1 cent level. I still think this is a great meme coin. I think with the election coming up, it's going to get a lot of attention, especially with Elon tweeting NPCs all the time. And just the general kind of world we live in, the clown world we live in. A lot of NPCs out there that can't think for themselves. So the jokes write themselves. The meme is infinitely memeable. It just keeps on going forever. So that's why I like this meme. Anyways, let's go ahead and continue on. No problem, Kedar. Let's see. Cool Josh Sim. Thoughts on NAI? I don't think I've ever heard of this one. NAI. Nuclei. Very small market cap. On AVAX. No, sorry, on Uniswap, on Ethereum. But it's got an AVAX contract address. I need to look into this one in order to give you my thoughts on it. Looks like a DePIN project. Some decentralized infrastructure powering AI and language learning models. I would need to look into this further in order to see if it's actually legitimate or not, because there's a lot of these projects that pop up that are just complete, like there's just nothing to them except for the website that makes it look good. So I would need to look into this further and to give you an actual opinion. But at first glance, like if it is legitimate, then it looks pretty good. Low market cap as well, so I mean it could perform great. I'll get back to you though after I kind of give it a proper look over. Let's see. Do you still hold router protocol? Yeah, I got a little small bag of that. I sold most of it off, but I kept a little bit just in case it does end up going parabolic. I still want to have some. So you know what I mean? But is it a considerable position in my portfolio at this point? No, absolutely not. It's very small. Yes, we are back. We are back, Trey. Thank you. When do you think we'll see a true altcoin season? I mean, the timing is up in the air. It's anybody's best guess, but it's all the factors that we kind of continue to go over here on the channel. We need to see Bitcoin dominance break down. Most likely we'll head up here to 60% before it makes its fall down to, 40%, sub 40% again. But this is usually the major indication of altcoin season is when the capital rotates out of Bitcoin and into altcoins. All right. So we're watching this chart always, the Bitcoin dominance chart, for a move up to the 60% level, or maybe just a breakdown from current percentages, current prices. But more likely than not, we get the move up to 60%. And then the move down to 40%. And that move down, similar to what happened in 2021, that's the altcoin season. At this point in time, it looks like the 4-year cycle is just repeating. And we're getting the same thing of kind of every 4 years, where 2025 is going to be the golden bull run year. So yeah, at this moment in time, if we had to kind of guess or predict, it's looking like Q1 of next year, unless something crazy happens with the election narrative coming up, which is in 57 days from now. All right, unless something crazy happens, it's looking like Q1 next year. And by the way, Trump back in the lead in terms of the poly market polling. I think after poly market got called out for rigging the polls, they fixed it, because if you recall, Kamala was leading not too long ago. She was up 7 percentage points, 10 percentage points at one point, which, I mean, come on. Come on. Like, is the world that dumb? I don't know. But anyways, unless something crazy happens within the next 60 days, it's looking like Q1 next year for our much desired altcoin season. Connor, what do you think of Nairo and ETH is due for a big run? So it already has recovered substantially. Let's take a look at Nairo on ETH. I mean, look at this daily chart. I do believe Wintermute is the market maker for Nairo on ETH, and they were the same market maker as Shiba Inu. And of course, they sent Shiba Inu sky high, and Nairo is like, you know, the new dog coin on the block. So Elvis, your question, is it due for a big run? It's very possible. It's got like the biggest market maker in crypto on board that's been known to send these coins to billions. And let's see, it's already had the initial expected dump to the lows, but with the strong recovery and all the listings, it should run to $1 billion, right? Elvis, very possible. It's definitely very possible. Let's pull up the full chart. By the way, Elvis, I'm just noticing your picture. Some Japanese samurais. I was just in Japan. I spent some time visiting some historical duel sites of the legendary samurai Miyamoto Musashi. And it was very epic. Glad I went. Let's go ahead and check out Nairo on ETH, though. All right, so this chart, I mean, kind of looks amazing. It really does look like really good. So it ran up. Let's get our forecast tool. Okay, it doesn't even give us the percentage. It looks like millions of percent from that candle. Anyways, let's say you bought it on the second day. You caught a 30x. And then it went ahead and pulled back 92%. Every meme basically will have the 80 to 90% pullback after the initial run up. So Nairo had it. And as of September 4th, it's been on the recovery. And, you know, it's multiplied again in a very short amount of time. So it went up 600%, almost 7x in 5 days. Okay, so an epic recovery. Elvis, your question, can it go to $1 billion? Yeah, especially with Wintermute as the market maker. Let's see. I mean, this thing is, if you have a Bybit account, this is the coin to trade. The volume, 18 million 24-hour volume on Bybit. Yeah, like if you're trading anything, you should be focusing on the things that are moving, the new coins that are moving. Nairo is one of the best coins to trade, right? You don't need to trade 10 different tickers. Just trade the same thing over and over and over again and continue to extract value from that same ticker. If you have Bybit, you can be trading Nairo on perps, and I think it's one of just the best coins to trade currently. There's just so much volatility. You know, if you don't have to use crazy big positions, right? Let's say you have $1,000, you put it on 10x. It's a $10,000 position. If you catch a 10% move, that's $1,000 profit. And this thing moves 18% in 3 hours. It moves 10% every hour, basically, right? So if you can catch a 10% move like once or twice a day and make $1,000 to $2,000 a day from just trading the same coin, you know, you're doing pretty good than like 99% of people in crypto right now, especially with the way the market is. So this is the way you need to be thinking, right? You need to be thinking, where does opportunity lie right now? Where is their volume? Where is their volatility? Nairo on ETH is really kind of one of the best places to be right now. Anyways, Elvis, good question. Dead Fred, what's your highest conviction play? I know you like Tau. Yeah, Tau for sure is up there. Just notice my screen isn't full. Let's go ahead and make that full. Tau is up there. Caspa in terms of conviction. I still think Cubic's going to be a stud winner. Stuff like Render obviously is up there too. The highest conviction stuff is not going to be the low market cap coins, right? The highest conviction stuff is going to be the higher market cap coins, like your Taus, like your Caspas, like your Renders, stuff like that. Rigoberto says, morning, have a great week. Yes, sir. It's good to see you, Rigo. Tia. I would stay away from Tia. The people that stake their Tia with the anticipation to get airdrops all got completely destroyed. I think that was one of the main reasons to hold Tia. I mean, it's a triple bottom here. It could be a decent long unless it just completely breaks down to $2, which could very well happen, especially if Bitcoin goes down to 42,000. Tia coming down here to 250 to $2 is going to happen, right? This thing went straight up and it's coming crashing down over a long period of time. Triple bottom here does look interesting. Maybe at least you see a move up to this line, which is a 30% move to 525. So if you want to trade it, you can look for longs up to resistance at around 525. But overall, yeah, I would stay away from Tia, especially as a hold, to hold in your portfolio. That would be one of the last coins I would even consider. Let's see. Lee Harrison says, hey, Connor, my man, are you still bullish on AGC? Yes. Still bullish on AGC. Still think it can perform well. It's like a 5 million market cap. So it doesn't take much to crush the price or to see it. 3 million market cap. Yeah. Can this make a comeback? It can. Can it never come back? Of course. But it does appear that they're actually building something of value over there at the Argo coin blockchain. So I look for, fundamental factors like that. And, that's why I have some of it. I am down on my position for AGC, but we'll see if it does make a comeback. It can erase losses quite quickly. But yeah, price action has been sinking like many altcoins on the market recently. So we'll see how it shapes up. Still, I'm bullish on it. Yearly opens at 3 cents. And we have an order block here. Coming into play at 6.7 cents. So, yeah, it looks like it wants to continue to sink a little bit. It's a very low market cap. So, it can reverse these losses in a day, basically, if money flow comes in, as with all AI coins. So, we'll see how it does develop. But, yeah, fundamentally speaking, I like it. Let's see, Elvis. Any chance we get to see another portfolio watch list like the one you dropped around late 2023? Maybe an update on that one or a brand new Allcoin watch list. Elvis, absolutely, man. Yeah. Just stay tuned. A lot of good things will be coming out soon. Just stay tuned. Have you looked at Blender? A bit. I know it's an AI coin. 14 million market cap. Could do well. I don't own this. I haven't planned on buying it, but I am aware of it. I've been aware of it, and it's not the worst coin on the market, I would say. So yeah, could do well. Let's see. Olas says, one more question. If I don't own any meme and I would happily buy 3, 4, which ones would you recommend to buy, knowing that I want to buy and hold and not trade them? So if you want to buy and hold memes, I would be looking at the ones, again, that have hit critical mass, that have a social presence that has been built and not bought and cannot be bought or replicated. Bobo coin over here up 31% on the day is certainly one. I would say Ponky would be one. I would say that NPC would be one. And if you want to be super safe, maybe something like Pepe. If you want to be a degen and go higher risk, right now the play is Nairo. But yeah, just basics like Bobo, Ponky, NPC, stuff like that. If you just want to hold them, those would be where I would start. Emin Inel, what's going on, Emin? He says, hi, Connor, what's up? Nothing much, brother. Happy to see you here online. What do you think about Cubic and Arkham? Cubic's been holding pretty good, man. I mean, it's where it has been, coming in to fill the wick over here from August 5th. But all things considered, this thing went up. Let's pull up our safe trade chart. All things considered, when you have an asset that moved up 33x, in a pretty short amount of time, 3-4 months, and now the pullback is 88%. Like many other AI coins out there, I mean, all things considered, I think this thing can make a very, very violent comeback to the upside. I still like Cubic a lot. In terms of the team and everything they're shipping out, all the updates and developments, it's very bullish. It's hard to deny that they're active and present, and they're listening. Their ears are to the ground, and they're making things happen. So, Cubic still quite bullish on this coin. And then Arkham Intelligence. So let's just kind of be objective. I know this is like a big VC coin. And where's the origin of the pump? It's right here where the yearly open is as well. And that's at 59 cents. So there's a chance that Arkham continues to hold this wick high, or this wick from the listing candle high, at 89 cents as support. As you can see, it's currently using this level. But if I was looking for the optimal price to take an entry in this, I would be patient and I would wait for around 60 cents for something like Arkham. And I mean, if Cubic's going to go to the origin, it could happen another 60%. I just don't see that happening. At worst, maybe 25, 30 to run 1,000 per billion. But yeah, that's my take on those two coins in terms of the TA. Cubic I hold it. It's a pretty big position in my portfolio. Arkham, don't hold it. Don't really care about it. But if I was looking to buy it, I would be looking at the yearly open at around 60 cents. Harish says, double down my favorites, Cubic, SMH, and A0. That's what you do, man. It takes risk to get reward, right? So I respect the double down. SMH has been getting crushed. Space Mesh. This thing's at 46 cents right now. I mean, it's back down to late 2023 prices. Not quite, because it was around, say, 10 to 20 cents, which would be another 50% drop in price, which is insane. But yeah, SMH has been getting crushed in terms of time to buy. I mean, like, if you're bullish on this, you want to buy it when the chart looks like this, right? If you're bullish on the asset fundamentally and the chart looks like this is when you buy it. So I respect that, right? You have conviction clearly, Harish. Cubic as well, we went over that. A0 has always been a late mover, right? Especially if you guys read the free ebook going back to last September. Elvis asked about it earlier. Will I make a new one? If you guys read that ebook, I recommend to reread it as a refresher, because just the principles that I discuss in there are evergreen, right? Those don't change with the market's fluctuating prices. Yeah, you should reread this, especially if you've read it a year ago now. And one thing I say is I talk about the late movers. A0 is one of them. Change has always been one of them. Coins like that. So don't expect them to move until basically the end of the cycle. Dre says, yo, M, can you look at Simon's cat? Got on the pre-sale and sitting very pretty. It's been super strong, bouncing on 4 hour. For sure, we can take a look at that. Simon's cat, market cap 185 mil. Let's throw up our 13 EMA. All right, so it basically got rejected from the highs. And it's breaking this trend line on the 4 hour. Multiple confirmed touches here. And it's setting a fresh Monday range currently. I mean, it looks weak here on the lower time frames, right? Like it wants to kind of break down and correct slightly. Your 1 hour 200 EMA is over here at 0.000025 in this 1 hour demand zone. So, I mean, for a Monday low to be set, maybe we see a move here to set the Monday low. From there, what we want to see is some kind of bounce, and then say Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, you want to see a sweep of that fresh Monday low. That could be a long opportunity to look for later on in the week. But yeah, short term, it looks a bit bearish, Dre, on these lower time frames. Curling, below the 1 hour 13 EMA. Same thing on the 4 hour. So short term looks a little bearish. Dead Fred says, thanks, Connor. No worries, Dead Fred. Silvadala, Let's go Empire 62 watching, only 18 likes. Show some love for the top G. Appreciate you. Yeah, guys, show some love. Smash up that like button. Appreciate your support. And if you guys want me to stream more often, let me know. The time zone makes a lot more sense now. It makes a lot more sense for me. I don't have to stay up to the middle of the night anymore to do the live streams to make sure that everybody over here in the US can watch it. I can just basically rock up to my setup and press go live now. Right? So don't have to worry about staying up to the middle of the night. If you want to see me stream more often, let me know right now in the live chat. Smash up that like button. Show some support. I do appreciate it. And let me know. Shout out to Armando. He says, always grateful for this content. We got Raja saying, yo, what's up, Raja? Good to see you here, my man. PT Minato. Hey, Connor. Nice to see you again, amigo. Quick question. I would like to get back into INJ and Prime. At what levels would you recommend to go into them again? Thank you. Well, we can take a look at these charts. Take a look at the charts. Let's go ahead and clean this up. That short was money, by the way. Okay, INJ. So let's break this up in a weekly time frame. So I would be looking. I mean, it's at a very crucial structural level right now. So, I mean, unless the market's completely effed, we got to be looking in this pocket of price action down here around 15 to say 14. Right, because there's a pretty big gap. If we lose 14, there's really not much until $9-10. Okay, so Minato, we got to be looking around these lows at like $14. Watch for price to fill the wick from the August 5th crash. Look for a sweep of the previous week low over here at 15. Right? You can set alerts, set limit orders, however you want to do it, but you know, we kind of got to be looking in this pocket. Like I said, unless the market's completely toast, and if that's the case, then $10 is your level. $10 is your level on INJ. And you really don't want to see it much lower than that because then it's just back in bear market prices, basically. But yeah, I would be treating this 14 level. 14 to 15 is your first kind of area. And below that, closer to 10 if we get it. And then Prime. So Prime came back down to 460, bounced, back tested to the yearly open at 10, rejected, now sitting right in the middle at 6. So it's looking... Let's see. In terms of looking at this chart and seeing a price that I like, this line's at 541. I would round it up to 550 and say, because let's be real, my targets for Prime have always been $80 to $100 at the peak of this cycle, and that hasn't changed. I still think it's possible to see Prime at those prices, right? I made these forecasts over a year ago now, and It hasn't changed at all, right? That's my target, 80 to 100. So anyways, if we see $5.50, $6, good, really good, right? I don't know if we'll get that $3 again that, was the original entry on Prime a year ago now, which is crazy how fast time has flown by. Obviously, if we do see $3 again, that would be a crazy buying opportunity. But as it stands right now, 550 looks pretty decent. Be a sweep of the previous week low. It's also a key level here, just looking at the chart. So I would be looking around there, Minato. Let's see, Raja. Thoughts on Netmind NMT? Good AI coin. It's definitely a good AI coin. It's a beta to Tau. It's going to most likely perform better when the market's very bullish, and it's going to go lower when the market's bearish. But yeah, NMT Netmind is a good AI coin. And currently prices are basically at lows, unless you were able to get it quite early within the first initial few days. But yeah, this is a good AI coin. Netmind, NMT. Some call it the Chinese BitTensor Tau. 75 mil market cap compared to Tau at say 2 billion. But yeah, I think it's a solid AI pick. I certainly wouldn't go like all into it and put all my eggs into one basket, but I can see it doing quite well. Elvis, thanks Connor for everything. No problem, Elvis. Always appreciate your support. What do you think about Brett on base? So I think the launch of Crash's new meme coin Bull on Tron hurt Brett, because Crash has his like cult around him, and people more likely than not sold Brett to get into Bull. That's just how memes work, the rotation game. So, with that, if Crash continues, I'm just going to tell it how it is, man. Like, I'm just going to say what I think, right? Some people might be like, oh, I can't say these things and I'm scared. Like, let's be real. Like, it's obviously him and his crew, like, doing this. Like, they're running the game, and they're doing a great job running the game. You got to respect it. You can't hate the player. You got to hate the game, right? Those lads are absolutely crushing it. They're extracting crazy value from their audience, which is really it's kind of sad, but at the same time, it's the game. But yeah, Brett, the launch of Tron Bull definitely hurt it. We'll see. I mean, I don't know if there's enough liquidity to go around, especially we'll see how it goes. But in terms of the number one meme on base, it's still Brett, which is a very positive sign. There's Toshi behind it. I mean, Brett has really established itself. It's pretty nuts how well it's holding up, right? Toshi at one point was 200 million, just died off, 40 million now. Brett hit $1 billion, and it's been holding really strong compared to most. It's in a pretty clear downtrend right now, and at this point, especially if we see Bitcoin drop to 42, Brett more likely than not is going to come down here to this lower level at like a 400 million market cap. Now, we'll see what Crash and the crew does. We'll see what else they have planned, right? They've spent a lot of money on this. They sponsored Gilbert Burns, who just lost. It's quite a bad look. They paid the Monaco Grand Prix boat race probably millions of dollars to get it sponsored, right? So they're investing into this thing, right? They're treating it well. They're pouring money into it. We'll see how the market reacts, because the market has really wisened up. It's gotten a lot more wiser compared to, say, the beginning of this year. Right now, everybody knows, like, okay, yeah, I mean, Crash was obviously behind this one, and his copywriting makes it seem like he found it, but it's not how it works. So yeah, long answer to your question. Thoughts on Brett? That's my overall thoughts on it. The more tokens they launch, it's going to dilute Brett because there's not enough capital to go around. But it's the biggest meme on base. It's the strongest. They're investing into it, and ideally they continue to invest into it. So if that's the case, it should do quite well. YouTuber Go Kill says Cubic is so undervalued right now. I agree with you. I think it's going to be one of the best performers, but we'll see. Check out Kobe, a meme on Solana. So immediately I don't like it, but we'll look at it anyway. 2.3 million market cap. So it's basically seeing the 80 to 90% pullback right now. You know, down 70%. It went down as low as 80% basically. Let's see these pullbacks. Yeah, this was 90%. So it survived the multiple 90%, 83% pullbacks. It survived multiple harsh pullbacks, which is a very good sign. And recently, another 80% pullback. It looks like a double bottom here. All right, you want to see these lows hold down here at 0.0015 cents. But right now it's down 70% from the highs. So, you know, that's when you want to buy. If you want to buy something, buy it at the 80% pullback, which in Kobe's case is right now. So not financial advice, but just from a chart perspective, it looks like if you did want it, it'd be a decent time. Emin, thanks, man. You're the best. Emin, I appreciate your support, brother. Be sure to smash up the like button, guys, if you haven't smashed it up yet. What do you think about Wormhole and Pyth? VC money grabs, especially Wormhole. So I just wouldn't consider those. Harish, thanks, man. No problem, Harish. Kedar, can you read my portfolio? Soul, Render, Cas, IMX, Super, PYR, side, it's Miria, Fit. Way too much gaming coins that are kind of dead. Super, PYR, side is Miria. You're way too heavy on gaming, I think. NXRA, I would cut it immediately. It's trash. Mog is good in terms of a meme play. Tuker could end up like Bowden. I don't know about it. What's it at? Yeah, I mean high risk play. I'm not sure if this meta is still a thing. It might be out with the old, in with the new. So I wouldn't be too attached to Tuker. But Soul, Render, Cas, IMX, very solid there. Miria, Fet, solid. Mog, solid. solid. The rest of it I would consider moving around. Shout out to Jazzy, my man. Says, good to see crypto's voice of reason, the one and only crypto emperor. Appreciate you, Jazzy. Always appreciate your support. Brandon, this is the time to put in the work prior to the bull market. Support Connor and hit up the follow button if you haven't already. My man, Brandon, laying it down how it is. Appreciate you, bro. Meet PT Minato. Let's see. In terms of AI, TARS AI backed by Solana. Yeah, familiar with it. Very familiar with TAI. Could be a really good play for sure. TARS protocol. Thank you for shouting that one out, Minato. Certainly one to look into for the audience. And if anybody's into like those numbers or whatever, you got 1111 right now. Very spooky and mysterious, right? Anyways, look into it on your own time. It's a good play. Kazuya, smash that like button. Appreciate you. Would you mind looking at AGI and AITech? We already briefly kind of touched up on them, but I'll give it a quick glance right now. Let's go to the weekly. Make sure we're on log scale. We are. Nice. So look, AITech. Listing candle high, holding support currently. Also, I mean, price kind of chopped around in this area when it was making its way up. So we'll call this a demand zone too. AITech, good play in a pretty decent level. Sub 7.5 cents would be inside of the green level, but still good prices. And then AGI, it's kind of doing this sketch that I laid out a few weeks ago over here in July, where it's just chopping and slopping basically. So any moves down back into this void here that I've drawn, we'll just move this to the side. Any moves into this void from say 9.7 cents down to 4 cents, that's your buy zone for Delicium AGI. Yearly open would be awesome to see it, which would be the origin of the pump, right? This thing's been holding up really well compared to a lot of others. Origin of the pump is over here, 5.2 cents approximately. So if you see a move down here for whatever reason, maybe we get some kind of black swan, Bitcoin goes to 42K, you get a quick wick down here to 5.2 cents. That's your buy level for Delicium AGI. And, you know, from there, you can see some pretty amazing returns if you get that price. Really good entry if you get it. Fly 75 Rye with a very important comment. I'm very glad you commented this, Fly 75 Rye. He says, crypto is getting weaker and weaker, finding a hard time finding a reason to buy this crap, to be honest. Listen, in order for the market to actually reverse, we need people to completely give up hope altogether. I know it because I have this YouTube channel. I also have a private group. Whenever people get the most depressed and the most, say, nasty with me, and like they come at me and they're mad at me because the way the market's moving, that is always, always, always the time right before the market completely reverses and we go on a crazy run. I kid you not, every single time for years, whenever people are just completely down, they're nasty, they're negative, they're coming at me. Within like a month, we reverse and we go on a crazy multi-month crazy run. So we need people to give up. We need them to lose hope. We need them to be completely depressed, crying into their pillow, wondering where all their money went, and then them to sell the bottom, right? We need these things to happen. I've been doing this for too long now. I've seen it too many times. So sentiment is a very important gauge. And when sentiment's at its lowest, that's usually a very good indication of a big reversal coming. And again, because I have this channel, because I have a group, you know, I get a very clear gauge on sentiment just by people how, you know, treat me basically. So yeah, I mean, all good signs right now in terms of sentiment being extremely low. I like what I'm seeing here, right? The nastier people get, the better things are basically, because that just means the reversal is coming quicker. Let's see, Emin, what about Pixel as a gaming coin? I really haven't looked into it enough to give you any solid input. 100 million market cap. I would need to look into it further to give you solid input, Emin. Would Trump memes run soon? So yeah, listen, the election is in 57 days. Usually it's usually just over a month before the narrative starts to kick in, right? Around 40 days. So that means in around 2 to 3 weeks, we should see the election narrative start to kind of move. 2 to 3 weeks. That's, you know, we're looking at, like I've always said, mid to late September, looking at later September, like the 23rd to the 30th that week. You know, that's when we would want to see any of these election narrative coins really start to move, which means you basically still have like 2 weeks, maybe at most, to make your decisions. Silva Dallas says G Trump to the moon. Let's go. OG Giga Chad. Yes, sir. G Trump. I believe Trump memes will do well We're getting closer to the election, and political finance narrative will pick up soon. Absolutely, Brandon. Just what I was saying. Usually it's like 40 days before the narrative. You can go back test this, look at the NVIDIA AI conference as an example. All the AI coins basically 40 days before that conference started to go vertical. There's many other cases of these narratives and the timing of it. So yeah, we're looking at like the last week of September for that to kick in, which means we still have around 2 weeks. We hit 50 likes. That's very good to see. Soy boys flip burgers. Chad's bank coin when the pumps come. Basically, that's how it is. That's basically how it is. Harry, my man Harry says, "What's up, CE fam? Good to see you back, Connor. Hope you're well. Doing well, man. Doing well. We're back, indeed. Back where it all began." Let's see. Kamala's the next president. I mean, we'll see about that one, my man Error. We'll see about that. We'll see what happens. Anyways, guys, we've been going for over an hour. We're going to go ahead and wrap up the live stream right now. I appreciate you all being here. It's been a while since we streamed. It's been a few weeks, but basically I was just wrapping up my traveling. I'm done with that for the time being. So that's great. No longer on the road. No longer living out of a suitcase. Saw some very cool places. I'm glad I did it, but there's a time and place for everything, and it's just not the time to be doing that now. It's time to basically focus and set up shop and get to it. So, we're back. Appreciate you all being here for the live stream, and it will be a more regular thing going forward. Look out for some more regular content as well. And we will see you all very soon here at Crypto Empire, where we dominate the crypto market. My name is Connor. I'll see you in the next video.